Another dead white cop, this time in Richmond. Another angry black cop hater holding the gun. Let's take a look at the story where we can learn a little bit more about how this guy's long criminal record, longer than most people have ever seen before, how he hated cops, how he had a fantasy of killing cops. And at the end, let's have maybe a reminder or two of how common and mainstream this resentment, hostility, and hatred towards cops has become.
And right now, we are also learning about the man police say is responsible for today's tragedy.
Our Mark Holmberg tells us what we're learning about the suspect. A man our Mark Holmberg found out is named James Brown, and a man with one of the most extensive criminal records Mark says he has ever seen.
So who was the shooter? An official source tells me it's James Brown III of Aurora, Illinois. A guy with a serious record. Check it out. An official source tells me the suspect who shot and killed the trooper was 34-year-old James Brown III of Aurora, Illinois. The date of birth I was given matches that of this James Brown III in Aurora. He is known to police there. Court records show he has been charged with murder, intent to kill, aggravated battery with a firearm, failure to obey police, resisting a corrections officer, aggravated battery of a pregnant woman, aggravated battery of an unborn child, numerous drug charges, intimidation, domestic battery, felony possession of a weapon, among many other charges. We were unable to obtain a booking photo.
We found no evidence of him being wanted. He has a history of charges, but we haven't been able to sort through a conviction.
It appears he has lived at this house with relatives. It's also unclear when he was last in prison.
Because that's going to be the question of the day, Mark, is why wasn't he in prison? You showed part of his rap sheet, and it is just a mile long.
Including murder?
Well, we don't know what he was convicted of, as the colonel said. These are the charges, and it takes a while to sort this stuff out. You know, that's the big question. Who was this guy? Why was he just, it's like the officer walked into a buzzsaw. This guy apparently just started shooting. You know, what's that about? You look at his criminal past, very violent, no question about that. And just kind of repeat. This guy's a walking problem.
And it seems that from what we've been able to glean from the training that the officers were doing at the bus terminal today, part of it that involves an interaction with a civilian, presumably, and that thus we're kind of figuring out that this was, as you pointed out, just kind of a random interaction with the wrong person, the worst person on earth that he could have run into.
Well, it looks like it's one of the worst records I've seen in terms of just serious violence. Again, these are all charges. We don't know if they're convictions. I suspect that since he spent time in prison, clearly he was convicted of some of these things. We'll get much more than this. You know, we're the only ones that have the information about this suspect. This is the kind of thing that the police are going to really look at to find out the big question: why?
It's not a difficult question to answer. Why? He told his aunt and all his friends about it. His aunt said he hated cops. He talked about it all the time, how he wanted to kill cops, shoot cops, do whatever he could to cops because he hated them. Where do people get crazy ideas like that?
Cause to me he ain't do no wrong, just shot a cop. Cause to me he ain't do no wrong, just shot a cop. Cause to me he ain't do no wrong, just shot a cop. Cause to me he ain't do no wrong, just shot a cop.
When you niggas gon' unite and kill the police, motherfucker. When you niggas gon' unite and kill the police, motherfucker. When you niggas gon' unite and kill the police, motherfucker. When you niggas gon' unite and kill the police, motherfucker. When you niggas gon' unite and kill the police, motherfucker. When you niggas gon' unite and kill the police, motherfucker. When you niggas gon' unite and kill the police, motherfucker. When you niggas gon' unite and kill the police, motherfucker. When you niggas gon' unite and kill the police.
What we have to do is end over-policing in African-American neighborhoods. When we talk about a criminal justice system, I would hope that we could all agree that we are sick and tired of seeing videos on television of unarmed people, often African Americans, shot by police officers.
African American parents shouldn't have to worry that their children will be harassed, humiliated, even shot because of the color of their skin.
Something is just fundamentally broken when African Americans are more likely to be arrested by police and sentenced to longer prison terms for doing the same thing that whites do. When too many encounters with law enforcement, and tragically, we need investments in education, healthcare, and jobs to counter generations of neglect. We have to face up to the hard truth of injustice and systemic racism.
So you have a choice. How do you prefer your cop hatred? Do you like it pure, full of vitriol, unfiltered? Well, you have that here. We've got the dead presidents. We've got that lady going, hey, you just shot a cop. You didn't do anything. You got those marchers in Manhattan going, what do we want? Dead cops. What do we want it now? Or do you like it a little bit more dressed up? A little bit more of a veneer of civilization on it? Well, we've got that too. We've got Bernie talking about over-policing in black neighborhoods. We've got Hillary talking about cops picking on black people for no reason whatsoever and totally ignoring white people who are doing the same thing all the time but never get caught. Guess what? Choose one from column A, choose one from column B. I'm here to tell you they're the exact same thing. Any cop in America will tell you that if you ask them. If you ask me, I'll say, yeah, ask a cop, but also do this. Especially if you are a cop. Don't make the black kids angry.